Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. Today's video was inspired by my husband's idea actually. You guys know how much I love to kind of involve you in my videos, and the other day he was like, what if you did a video asking your followers if there's a product that you would never buy again? Because I feel like obviously most of what goes on in the beauty space in social media is just like product recommendations, but it's not that often that we get to hear from you guys as far as what you've tried out, what you've bought, and what just didn't work for you to the point where you literally would never buy it again. Whether that's just it didn't work for your skin type maybe, or maybe it gave you an allergic reaction, something like that. So I took to Instagram, I asked you guys, I got so many submissions, and it's crazy because so many of these products that I'm gonna be doing a full face with today, I personally love, but it just goes to show you that not everything works for everybody, right? Because if it did, how boring would that be, right? If we had like all the same taste in products, or, you know, our skin reacted the same to certain things, it just wouldn't be realistic. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna be reading your comments as well, which that was the most entertaining part about scrolling through everything, was just like what you had to say about things. So the first thing that I'm gonna be using is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Somebody said the Magic Cream, way too expensive and I hated the smell, didn't understand the hype. Listen, this is a very pricey product, and as much as I've enjoyed it, I also have to remember that, like, A, I do this for a living, B, a lot of these products are sent to me, and so while I feel like this is a really nice product, I can 100% understand why somebody wouldn't want to spend the money on this, especially when there's like other great skincare prep products out there. And the fragrance in here is very distinct. So I can totally see how some people just might not vibe with that, and that's totally okay. I will say, I do like how it feels on my face, but that's not the point of this video. The point is, these are things you guys wouldn't buy again, which honestly, I feel like sometimes there's things that you buy and maybe it's just too expensive that you wouldn't buy it again, which could have been the case for the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Maybe you're just like, you know what? My moisturizer does the same thing. Sometimes you have those realizations too. Okay, there were a few people that talked about the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. There's a couple of e.l.f. products in here. My theory is because most people buy e.l.f. products, like they're so viral that there's gonna be, you know, a handful more people that submitted e.l.f. products just because most of us try out e.l.f. products, I feel. So somebody said, e.l.f. Putty Primer. Oh, I don't know if that's how that sounded when they typed it out, but you get the point. And then somebody else said the e.l.f. Putty Primer gave them breakouts. So, you know, there's different things, different reasons for why people don't end up liking a product. I personally actually really do like this one. I feel like it's better than the Tatcha one, but hey, to each their own. That's the beauty of makeup, you know, is that we don't have to all enjoy everything. I feel like what ends up being frustrating, at least for me, especially when it's a hyped product that maybe doesn't end up working the way that works for everybody else, I feel almost like left out in a way of just like, what? Like this viral product, I want it to look like it does on everybody else, on me, but sometimes it just doesn't go that way. And it's okay. I feel like we need to normalize viral products not working for every single person, and like to not feel bad if for some reason something doesn't work well for you. I'm not gonna lie, this next product stings a little. You'll see why as soon as I hold it up, folks. Guys, people don't like this, and I took this one personally, I'm not gonna lie. But again, it's a foundation. Like, how on earth is it supposed to work for everybody? It just won't, you know? So somebody said the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, it creases too much on them, which made me so sad because it works really well for me. And then somebody else said the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, I know, doesn't work for me. It's okay. I won't take it too personally, but I am a little sad. By the way, I asked you guys if you wanted me to just like read off some of the product submissions or apply them as I go, and everyone wanted me to apply them as I go. So I'm going to. The funny thing is, again, a lot of these products I actually personally enjoy, so it's not gonna be like a bad face of makeup, I feel, at the end of this, but I think it's just reassuring for people to be able to hear that like some of these products, even though even I love them, it just doesn't work for people. So I'm applying my favorite foundation all over the skin. All right, for concealer, this one's funny. Somebody said this is gonna ruffle some feathers, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. So I'm pretty sure that's like the original, but also somebody else said the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I've tried it twice and both times had an allergic reaction. So they're both different formulas, but obviously like same category. So I actually do enjoy this concealer. I know a lot of people do, but you can't expect it to work for everybody. So here we go. I'm gonna add a little bit of the, this is the hydrating one, which I will admit I do really like better than the original. Just works better for me. So there's that. Mine's starting to smell funny. I should probably get a replacement. I actually saw a couple of submissions for this product, but I only screenshotted one on accident. But the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Contour and Bronzer didn't work for some of you. I, again, really like this product, but I do see how it could potentially not be very user-friendly. I don't know, like for the everyday consumer, it might be one too many steps. And also, I feel like they recommend using the cream and then setting the cream directly with the powder. I don't do that, so I don't know if that's a factor into why maybe it doesn't work for some people, or maybe just, you know, people don't like it, which is fine. So I'm just gonna take this though, and I'm taking the cream because I like to apply all of my cream products before going into powder. So I'm just gonna warm up the complexion with the cream. I feel like this one is really interesting as well, but it also doesn't surprise me since this is another one of those super viral type products. I feel like it's, you know, bound to not work for somebody. So somebody said the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, I find them very hard to work with, always patchy. So we're gonna apply the famous Rare Beauty blush. These are so pigmented. So again, another one that could potentially not be very user-friendly if you're not like willing to work with it, or maybe you don't have the right tools, or maybe it's just, you know, not fitting into your typical routine, which is also fine. Like maybe you're somebody who prefers to apply blush a certain way and this formula just doesn't do it for you. Like that's okay too. So I'm gonna apply this with the Rare Beauty blush brush, which I find to work pretty well with this formula, but they are so pigmented, so I can see how it could be, you know, intimidating for people, and also just like not what you're looking for sometimes. So this is the shade Happy, by the way. Oh, my husband wanted to tell you guys that he helped go around the room and gather all my products today. So 10 points for Thailand, actually 20 points for coming up with this video idea in the first place, and then being the one to grab all my products. Thank you, Tai Tai. All right, we're gonna set the face. This one hurt a little bit as well. Somebody said, honestly, unpopular opinion, the Laura Mercier setting powder, the OG, I keep purchasing it, hoping to change my mind, but it never looks great on my skin and there's so many good drugstore. So Laura Mercier, somebody else also submitted this. Let me see if I can find my screenshot. Oh, well, I must have not screenshotted it. Dang, well, just know I saw it a few times. This is a powder that's like pretty heavy duty, so I could see how some people just might not vibe with the intensity of it. You can change the intensity by how much you apply, but it's more of a heavy powder compared to like my Huda Beauty one, but it's a classic, you know. A lot of people love it, a lot of people have tried it, a lot of people rave about it, and so therefore there's got to be people who don't, you know. So I'm just using this to set my face. I'm gonna take a little bit of a powder brush just to lightly set the cream bronzer before going in with the powder part of the Patrick Ta bronzer, which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to take this bronzer. This is actually the warmer color. I do have the more like sculpting one, which I think is called She's Sculpted in my shade that I use. But this one's She's Bronzed. So this is like the more warm toned shade. So I'm just going to warm up the skin with this. All right, we're gonna jump into brows. I also took this one a little bit personally, but I also understand this comment. Hold on. Let me find it. Somebody said, Benefit brow products, too expensive for how much product you actually get. Listen, I love Benefit brow products. This is my favorite brow pencil ever. But I also understand fully and completely that you can find really great brow products at a much better price. It's actually funny because I had that realization. I actually texted my husband. Now that I think of it, when I was prepping for the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty event, which this product was going to be on sale, I think it already passed, but as I was like filling out my description box and prepping for the video, I was actually astonished at like how much brow products are. In my mind, because this is what I do for a living, it's kind of like whatever, if I run out, I buy it, no question. But as I was prepping it, I think I was the most alarmed because it was 50% off and it still felt like a steep price tag. for what it is. So yeah, you can definitely find great affordable options that you like won't feel as bad moving through. Because I know brow products is probably one that a lot of people use up the fastest. So it's nice to have a more affordable favorite. Okay, this one was actually really fun for eyeshadow. This was actually really interesting. So somebody said giant eyeshadow palettes like the Morphe ones. Too many options, similar colors, too big. Somebody else said the Morphe 350 palette is hardly pigmented and colors are all the same. I regret buying it. So I went to my eyeshadow palette drawer and I grabbed my Morphe palettes. I actually have like the original Morphe 35, well, this one's 35R. I know I have 350 somewhere in there, but I'm not gonna use this one because it's old. But you can kind of see like they really are the same shadows in here. But the palettes are really large. I honestly can't remember the last time I used a big Morphe palette. This one I saved because it looked pretty. I honestly can't remember if I've used it. This one has a little bit more variety. This is the 35V palette. I don't even know if they have this anymore. Kind of hard to travel with. I mean, I guess unless you are a working makeup artist and you need tons and tons of colors in one place, these could be useful. But I don't know. I feel like they don't get as much hype as they once did. I feel like people maybe prefer smaller palettes, which actually, I'm actually curious, you guys, like what do you feel like is the ideal eyeshadow palette size? Like how many colors? Is too much, too little, or like what's just right for you? For me, I find myself gravitating toward 10 to 12 shades in a palette. Like I genuinely like that amount, but I'm curious, like, is that too much for some people? Do you guys like smaller palettes? A little bit bigger palettes? Tell me in the comments. I'm just curious. So I'm gonna do a little looky with this, just using some of the shades. I'm taking like the matte mauve color from the top row in like the center, and I'm just applying that first. And then I'm taking the shade right next to it, just to deepen up the outer edge. I'm literally just working from the top row. I'm taking this color, which is right next to like the transition color that we used, and applying it to the lid. All right, I'm gonna apply a eyeliner. This is one that somebody submitted actually. The ColourPop Creme Gel eyeliners. For the price, I'd rather go with NYX. So even though these are more on the affordable side, NYX has, you know, more affordable ones. But this is one of my favorite colors. I just like to use it in the waterline. ColourPop Honey Dude, just to kind of brighten things up a little bit. And then the mascara situation. I couldn't decide between two mascaras, but I wanted to read them both out loud. Actually, maybe I could do one on the top lashes, one on the bottom. That's what I'll do. So on the top lashes, I'll use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. Well, I mean, I'm taking this one personally, but I also get it. Like this one is, you either love it or you hate it, kind of a formula. But she said, Lash Paradise mascara was so thick and clumpy, never again. Well, let's apply it. Well, there's the Lash Paradise on the top lashes. And then on the bottom lashes, I'll apply the other one that was submitted. Somebody said the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. It wrecks my eyes after I remove it at night. Bad reaction and bits in my eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful. Let's apply it. I can't remember what mascara did the same thing to me. This was years ago. I honestly can't remember. There's a mascara that like when I would remove it and if I got any ounce in my eyes burned to the high heavens. Like it was so painful. And I remember I couldn't figure it out for the life of me because obviously I try makeup for a living and I'm always trying different eye products on. But I connected the dots after a few times of wearing that mascara with different eye looks and was like, okay, it's the mascara that's burning my eyes. That's the worst. All right, for highlighter, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Wand. Somebody said, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Wand's definitely overhyped, but the light contour shade is nice. Wish it lasted. So must have some issues with it lasting, it sounds like. And I agree, the light contour shade is really nice. I do love that one. The highlighter, I feel like, if I remember correctly in my review, it was something that I felt like could be skipped. I don't know if I'm remembering that quite right. Well, I think actually in comparison to the Charlotte Tilbury one, I liked the Charlotte Tilbury one slightly better, I should say. But this is like still pretty. I don't know. I haven't actually ever paid attention to the lasting power of it though, which I will do. So I'm just popping this on the high points of the cheeks as my highlighter. All right, for lipstick. Oh my gosh, I realized I didn't read one of the comments for the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation that made me laugh out loud. I'm gonna put it right here. I know it's kind of random, but they said the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation smells awful like paint fumes. I mean, Kind of. I mean, I've never really been bothered by it, but it made me laugh. So I wanted to read that to you. Okay, for lipstick, let's see. Where's my comment? Somebody said L'Oreal lipsticks with that horrible smell and taste. They do have a very distinct smell, so let's wear it. This is the shade 560 Saucy Mauve. Again, my husband selected this color, so cute. It does have such a strong fragrance. I honestly wish they would change that, because otherwise it's so nice. I kind of do agree with that. I mean, I still wear them, but it's pretty intense. A lip gloss that somebody would never buy again is the Too Faced Lip Injection Gloss. It burns, they said, so let's put it on. I'm just gonna put it on right on top. Honestly, probably should have put this underneath the lipstick, but here we are. All right, I'm assessing the situation, even though this is a video about things that you wouldn't buy again. Still trying to make my makeup look nice. I actually feel like it does look pretty nice, but that's beside the point. For setting spray, somebody said MAC Fix Plus. It's not an actual setting spray, and the mister is more like a shot in the face. It is more like a water-based like melter, makeup melter versus like long wear type of situation. And if you don't spray it far enough, I can totally see what you mean. Like it's pretty like intense. Actually, I'm laughing like because it's totally what happens. It just kind of like spits at you. So I get it. I'm just gonna press that into the skin though. My lips are starting to actually burn. I'm gonna set with the Benefit Brow Gel since somebody said they don't want to buy Benefit Brow products. Again, to each their own. That's totally fine. I'm just a little sad because this is my favorite brow gel. But anyway. Well, 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 not too shabby considering these are all things that really didn't work for you. So, ouch, my lips. It really is intense, this one. I thought for fun I would read a couple more that I saw quite a bit. The Milk Grip Primer and the e.l.f. Grip Primer, a lot of you guys didn't love. The Kosas Revealer Concealer, I saw a couple of those submissions. e.l.f. Concealer, Tarte Shape Tape, I saw a few times. It's crazy because these are like very viral products, but again, how boring would it be if we all like the same stuff, you know? It's just not how it goes. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, somebody said, way overhyped. Somebody said they were not gonna buy the Hollywood Flawless Filter again since e.l.f. made a dupe. So yeah, those are a few more extras that were mentioned that I thought would be fun to tell you guys about. So here we are. I actually, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I think my makeup looks pretty good right now, but I apologize that these products didn't work for some of you guys. And it makes me sad that like some of my favorite things didn't work for you guys because obviously like I am a little biased. I love the things I share with you guys. And I, of course, hope that these will work the way they work for me on you guys, especially if you go out and spend your own money on it. So very, very sorry that some of these things didn't end up vibing with you. But also, I love that you guys are confident in what you enjoy. And I feel like it's cool to be like, actually, that viral product that everybody likes, I don't like it. I'm not buying it again, you know? There's something really powerful about that, so I'm inspired by you at the same time. If you guys didn't get a chance to submit the products that you would never buy again on my Instagram, let's get the comments rolling. I would love to hear from you, so be sure to comment down below. And yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!